on my computer. Okay, so hopefully if that goes well, we can post that later if needed.
Okay. Oh, welcome everybody. We're so happy you're here. And I hope that you won't be disappointed. We've had a lot of fun in the last month coming up with new things. And we're excited to share it with you. So Wes, I guess I'll talk about this. This is the package we have right now, and it includes a free crate mount, which is a little bit hard to see in the background, but it's because it's.
Oops. Uh-oh, Amanda, you're muted. What did I do? I think I did that. I was trying to mute all attendees. Oh, great. Can you?
Here it is. I found it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So what I was saying is this is our package we have right now that we're going to offer through next Friday. And the bonus with that is the free crate mount, which is right here in the back. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can see one back here on my wall as well.
Uh-oh. Amanda, you are on mute.
You go ahead and talk then.
Yeah, okay.
Because
well,
I'm not, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to mute so we didn't have a lot of background noise. And
well, I agree with that. So since it's a little bit of a snag, go ahead and.
Yeah, just you and I.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. We're real excited to host kind of an update for you. And so we can keep things a little more organized. If you want to post a question in the chat, we'll be watching, Amanda and I will be watching the chat. So you can put your questions there. I'm Wes Anderson, the founder of Smart Animal Training Systems and the inventor for the original Pet Tutor. My business partner, Amanda Hessel, is on the other screen there with the Pet Tutor in the background. And Amanda is our vice president for marketing and sales. And as I mentioned earlier, some of you may have been in there on the prior podcast. Last year, we had a really strong first quarter. It looked like it was going to be a wonderful year. And then we ran into a supply problem. So like many people are running into these days. So the supply chain was difficult. We couldn't get some of the parts that we needed. So we decided to go back and take the opportunity to reinvent what it is that we wanted to be able to offer based on what we've been learning. We've been on the market since around the end of 2013.
We can't hear you, Wes.
Are you back?
All right. How's that? Boy, I'm not sure what's going on with the mute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I was going over some of the history last year of the supply chain. So just to cut to the chase, the new Pet Tutor Mini, as we're calling it, is coming out this year. Some of you may, or most of you may already have it on pre-sale, pre-order. And we've had a pretty good demand for that. We've offered it in 2 or 3 packages now. So I think we sold out and then we posted it again. The first batch is due to ship around April 1st. And so at this point, it looks like we're still on track for that. And we'll keep you posted on our progress on that, but we should be starting to ship those units out around April 1st. The first package that came out included our remote. We call it now the mini clicker. So it's a separate handheld remote. This package that Amanda has up on the screen right now does not include the remote. It does, however, include a bonus crate mount. You can see it in the background. It's actually white, so it's a little bit hidden in the background there behind the unit, but the crate mount is included as a part of the special that's available right now. And Amanda, I think we said we'd let this special, it would close out next Friday. So
Correct.
you'll have, if you or anyone else would like to get in on a pre-order special that includes the free crate mount, that's available now for one more week, and then that closes out. And then in general, we will, everything will be at the full list price. We've had some real exciting new improvements. And we're going to talk about some of those tonight, but then we're going to save a few more for the next update, which will be coming in about a month. So in about the end of February, we'll give you another progress report like this, another live video session, so you can ask questions. We'll give you an update. And that'll be probably one of the last ones before we start shipping product out. We might do another one in March, but we should be pretty far along by the time we hit into February. So Amanda has brought up on the slides now a new feature that, well, it's new to the mini clicker. We didn't have it initially worked out, but it is worked out in our early testing now. It seems to be doing the trick pretty well. My dog, two-point conversion, or 2P, we call him, my Australian Shepherd. He's been testing it very extensively because that's how he gets his meal. Because we put it in the Kong wobbler. You can see over there on the right-hand side. It's very small. This is about the size of a small box clicker. In fact, that's what you'll see on the website. It's sitting next to a little box clicker. And so if it gets bumped in tilt mode, it has an accelerometer inside it, and it'll trigger the feeder. And so the dog can run back and forth and hit something. Doesn't have to be a Kong wobbler. Anything actually that the mini clicker will fit into will trigger if it's bumped. And so you put it into tilt mode. You could put it on your wrist. And so we've had people with disabilities, which is a market that we're especially supportive of, and we'll be bringing out and have done quite a bit already with folks that have disabilities that want to work with their service dog or pet dog. With the tilt sensor, for instance, if you didn't have full hand motion or just wanted to use your hand, you could put it on the back of your hand and just wiggle your hand, and it would trigger. Or put it on your foot and just wiggle your foot, and it would trigger the feeder. So that's another way you can take advantage of the tilt mode. And so that'll be coming out now. Again, the first package included the mini clicker. But this second package does not. So if you wanted the mini clicker, you'd have to add that, order that separately. But that will be available available in the shopping cart now. Yeah, somebody asks, oh, I'm way behind all these new products. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I gave a little bit. We've had several people join here since I started, but just to recap, we had a supply chain issue, so we've gone back to dropped back to the drawing board of redesigning the product. Now it's started into testing, and then we'll be shipping it in April, called the Mini, or the Pet Tutor Mini, and we'll go over what that whole platform. It's actually more than one product, so there's more than just a feeder. It is a feeder. And this is, let's see if I can hold that up. This is an example of the Pet Tutor Mini with what we're calling the Uno attachment sitting on top.
I don't see you, Wes.
You don't see me?
No.
Oh, no video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't. I think you are. The screen is my I'm sharing my screen and it's,
Oh, you don't see it? Okay, well, I'm not going to worry. You got a slide on it, so we'll show it there and then we'll stop sharing. Again, so
oh,
this
somebody
slide,
else says they see you.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Depends on how big you make your screen sharing on your view, whether you see the video feeds. So this one is the example of using the tilt as a toy, but again, it can be used by anyone to trigger the feeder with a movement only. And we do have some more stuff coming, some really exciting stuff. There's a very exciting capability, but I've been sworn to secrecy until our next update. So sorry to keep you hanging, but I'm not allowed to say anything yet until we really get a lot of testing on this. But we got some really, really cool stuff in the works right now. It's just entered testing some new capabilities that I think you guys are going to like a lot. That will be available as a part of the package, assuming we get all the details worked out on this new feature that we're working on. But here's another new thing that we've brought out since last time. This will be available. Is it not included in the first package? So let me explain what you're seeing on the screen here. And Amanda, I don't know if you can point to it with your cursor. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that little orange box on the end, that is the mini clicker. So that is relates to, if you guys are familiar with the previous smart clicker, it is its own separate standalone remote control for the feeder. So with that little orange box, the mini clicker, you can pick it up, press the button, and it will fire the feeder via Bluetooth. And that's in working now. By another button press, you can put it into tilt mode. And then there's also an LCD screen, which is a really enhanced capability that we've had over the prior smart clicker. And there's an on-off button. A lot of people were asking for an on-off button. So now with the mini clicker, you can turn it off. Another really nice feature with this is the mini clicker, which is just the orange part of what you see. And I'm going to get to the white wand part. The mini clicker has an internal rechargeable battery, and you plug in to any USB-C plug. It takes a USB-C, that's the new version of the USB. You plug that into a wall or an external battery, and it can charge the unit. Now, it is a fairly small battery, so we've been testing it in our just regular operation. Probably will last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours on a charge. But no worries, you can recharge that battery, or you can use this. We're calling it the mini clicker external battery wand. And if you can see, I'm holding up one. Amanda, you may not be able to see it, but I'm holding it in my hand to kind of give them the size reference. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. That's even better. Yeah, so if you can see Amanda holding that up, this wand has 10 times the battery capacity. So you can go for a lot of training time on that. Inside that white case is another large rechargeable battery. It also, Amanda, if you'd show them at the end where the USB-C is, okay, right there is, you plug that in and you charge the wand and the mini clicker. So you plug that in overnight, and so you've got a lot of battery capacity there, either with the orange unit or with that whole assembly there. So if your orange unit runs down, you just plug it into the mini clicker external battery wand, and you instantly have a much greater battery length, and you're charging the mini clicker at the same time. So this is going to be available. And along with that, some other stuff, and we'll move into that. But that is, we don't have that in the store yet, do we, Amanda?
Yes.
Yes, we do have it in the store. Okay. All right. I was having a little trouble keeping track of which, because we're going kind of back and forth. Okay. So the wand is in the store now. I've been told by by the experts. Uh,
Yeah,
so,
the next product is not in the store yet.
okay, thank you. Thank you. Love the clicker improvements. Yes, I really appreciate the feedback. We've been listening to you. So be careful what you say. We may give you exactly what you want. So we do know that you guys have been asking for greater features, and there's still more to come. There's a lot more that we're working on with this mini clicker, but we've got to try it out first. As Amanda often tells me, it's under promise, over deliver. So we're really trying to stick to that. But I'd just love to tell you about all the cool stuff we might do, but we want to test it out first. Let's see, somebody had a question here in the chat. Are you able to switch the mini clicker between Gen 3 and Mini? Yes, not simultaneously, yes. So the really nice thing about the mini clicker is it will connect via Bluetooth between the Generation 3 Pet Tutor. So the standard blue tube. I'm looking around for one.
The original.
Yeah, the original.
Original number 3.
Number 3. So Generation 3, not Generation 2. And if you're not sure, turn the app on, and if you have a Gen 2 or a Gen 3, turn the app on, and below the icon, it'll tell you which generation it is. If it's even older than that, the original Pet Tutor that came out in 2013 was the Generation 1, and it has this big remote with 3 buttons. So you can see what we've done to the remote. This is where we started. That's Gen 1, and then the actual clicker itself, this is where we're at now. So this is where we were, and this is where we're at now today. So this new mini clicker is much smaller, but much greater capabilities. Honestly, it's going to be very cool as we get everything put together and roll that out. So that's the mini clicker, which is available in the store today and works with the Gen 3. So you could order one today and start using it with your Gen 3. We've got all that worked out. And if we add more features, which we probably will, we'll make sure you have a way to upgrade your mini clicker if you get it today. And so the next slide up, here's another. I think folks might like this because I've been thinking about this a long time. What Amanda is showing, and if you got the real thing there, Amanda.
I do.
Yeah. So over the years, we've tried, in fact, in our early prototype, we tried a true motion detector, or in tech speak, it's a passive infrared detector. And what it does is if something passes in front of it, it triggers the feeder. If that thing keeps moving, like I think of a dog in a kennel, and the dog might be afraid of people, so you'd like to positively reinforce the presence of a person coming through. So as someone's walking through the kennel, it starts feeding. And then when they move out of sight, it stops feeding. And like if you walk into a room that has automatic lighting, the lights turn on, that's an infrared detector. That's what you can plug into. It'll either plug in, Amanda's showing it plugged into in the picture, and there that she's holding up, the little motion detector plugs right into the top of the new battery wand, or can you plug it into the mini clicker itself? Yep. So it just plugs in on the top and sits right there, and it is plug and play. So we're trying to make it really simple, not a lot of changes and menus and things. So if you want to add motion detector, you just plug it in. If you want to go back to the normal operation of the mini clicker, you just pull it off. So plug it in. Go ahead.
Do you want me to show the video?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Well, I say that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the, and there's no battery needed in the passive. Oh yeah, here's a demonstration of it dispensing treats for Amanda's dog, standard poodle Gracie. And Amanda, why don't you explain what you've got set up there?
So if you can see right here, there's the motion sensor, and I angled it out to the hallway. She had some things going on that I wanted to reinforce her if she just stepped into my office. It's usually a very reinforcing place anyway, but something was inviting out there to her, she was barking about. So she stepped in here and she triggered it. And this is the,
so this, you can see the Pet
oh, it's
Tutor
up
Mini
here at
is
the
mounted.
top, yeah.
It's way up above, it's up high, and it's dispensing based on a trigger from that. You can see the white battery wand there with, it's got that orange mini clicker mounted to it. And then on the very top is that little motion detector that Amanda was talking about. And every time Gracie moves, she can move her head or her body. That movement will cause the motion detector to trigger the feeder. And so you can imagine all kinds of things you might be able to come up with. And so this is one form of automatic triggering of the feeder. We'll have several modes that are kind of automatic modes, but this one we've been talking about and prototype things in the past, but I really like the way this works. It's very clean. So that'll be an option. You don't have to get it if you don't have a need for it, but that'll work together. And then just to emphasize in this last slide here that Amanda's got, the Pet Tutor Generation 3. Again, I want to emphasize Gen 3 only. And someone's asking about a Gen 2. I'm sorry, we do not have an upgrade to Gen 3 from the Gen 2. So a lot of the new stuff will just work with the Gen 3. But we've looked at it and it just isn't going to work very well. But you know, send us a note. We'll see if we can work up a package, but we can't upgrade to a Gen 3. But we do have from a Gen 2. So if you do have a Generation 3 feeder, those came out in 2018. So if you purchased in 2018 or later, that would be a Generation 3. And again, like I said earlier, if you're not sure, connect your feeder to the app, and if it's got Bluetooth in it, it'll connect and it'll tell you which generation you have. So what Amanda just demonstrated with the new Pet Tutor Mini, not on the market yet. Well, it's on the market, but it's not. No one's using it other than our beta group. But if you do have the Gen 3, you could set up that that little example that Amanda demo that she had today. She just chose to demonstrate it with the new Mini, but we could easily have done exactly the same thing with the Pet Tutor Gen 3. We've got several kennel operations that have those. I've always imagined this would be a great scenario to work with in kennels. So we've had several kennels that purchase Gen 3s and have several of them. So you could put one of those, the motion detectors at one end of the kennel. When somebody walks in, it could start to feed a feeder. These are the distance. A couple of things to say about it. It has a sensitivity of about 15 feet. Now, we've not really tested that, how far away. You could see in Amanda's demo there, it wasn't very far away. It was about 3 or 4 feet. But as best we could tell, you should be able to get somewhere probably between 10 and 15 feet away for the detector to sense the motion. So that one, we don't have. Okay, so we don't have the motion detector in the shopping cart yet, right, Amanda?
That's what we don't have in there.
Yeah,
yet.
so what you see in the right-hand side on top, just the little part on top, that's not there. The rest of it is. The rest of it's available. And I think we'll be getting that. Now, we're working on some, is the motion detector available? We have those, we have them in stock. We're not ready to ship because one of the things that we noticed in our early testing, and we test. We're test fanatics. So in some of our early testing, we have noticed, and we've gone back and checked, the motion detector has a pretty wide angle of view. So it will trigger, I think we checked the specs, it's about 160 degrees. So something walking in from the side, it'll trigger early. Someone says, is this being recorded? Yes, we can do that. Oh, Clicker Expo's running. Yeah, yep. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I wish we could have been there at Clicker Expo. What we're going to offer along with the motion detector, we're just going to add that in for free, is a way to narrow that range down, like a little hood thing that'll fit on to the motion detector, so you can put it on or take it off. If you want to narrow, make it more like a beam, you can just put that on. We're going to include that with the motion detector, so no extra charge for that. Those will come together. The other thing that we're going to be offering with the wand is a little stand, so you can stand it up and it won't fall over as easy. So we're going to get a little stabilizing stand and include that with the item as well. So we've got, after we've tested internally, we've seen a couple things we think will enhance your use of the product. So we're going to wait until those are ready. We've got a little test time on them, and then we'll roll those out as a package, those extra little features. The wand, however, and the mini is available today. And I think if you bought those, and like for the stand, we hadn't discussed it, Amanda, but I think if you were to buy the wand today, we'll send you the stand when it's available. And then since that we've held up the motion detector just until we can get this little hood device set up.
Little blinders.
Now, little blinders, like blinders on the horse, you know, those blinders to keep the horses from being distracted on the side. We'll add that in. Now, another cool feature, because we work a lot in the accessibility world and with people that are in wheelchairs and want to train their dog or work with their dog, I think this could also be adapted. Now, this is just thinking out of the box here, but I think we could use this to adapt for triggering the feeder for someone that has very, very limited mobility. So if you think about somebody that has extreme limitations on hand dexterity, couldn't push a button, I think we could set this up and mount it somewhere like on the armrest, around the armrest of the wheelchair, so they could just kind of wiggle their hand in front of it, and it would trigger the feeder. Now, the other thing that one of our teammates mentioned is that might even be possible to set it up how you mount it for somebody that has quadriplegia. So if somebody that is quadriplegic, has maybe only just head movement. And we do have several people already that are in that camp that have started to use the Generation 3 or even Gen 2 Pet Tutor. We think this new addition with the motion detector might make it even easier for them to trigger the feeder. So with very little adaptation, all they would have to do is mount it so that it can see their head, and then with a head movement, it could trigger the feeder. Now, a fully able person, maybe you could do something with that as well. But that's one of the applications that we're going to be aiming this at is accessibility in addition to the auto triggering. Let's see, when can we order the motion sensor? Amanda, when do you think we can order that?
Well, Wes, when will the blinders be ready?
I knew she'd throw that back at. I'm engineering and manufacturing. She's marketing. So, oh, good.
Because if you promise it today and it's not ready, then that's the postal people won't be happy, because then they have to go to their house twice.
Right. Yeah. So I would say by the end, before the end of February for sure. I don't see any reason we couldn't get this in the store. Now I'm just talking about the little motion detector add-on, and have that along with the blinders, and have that in the store ready for purchase and shipment in February sometime. And maybe even a lot sooner than that. We got a lot of stuff. Our team is working on several things at once, but I know folks would really, really like to have some motion detector. There are a few really cool applications about that.
It's a fun toy. That is like a really fun, with some solid applications too. So not just for fun, but
Yeah.
just, I think people will find it really exciting and so simple because you just plug it in.
Yeah, why don't we pick up a few of the questions that have come in, and I don't know if Scott Moody is online, but I just want to acknowledge Scott's been he's one of our longtime customers and friends that's been involved with us, and we're working with Scott on some really cool stuff. Can't say anything yet, but yeah, when it comes, I think it'll blow your socks off. I think we got some really neat stuff. So Amanda's showing 3 ways to trigger the Pet Tutor Mini. One is from the app. So the existing app, Pet Tutor Blue, that you can download from iOS or Android today, you can connect to the Pet Tutor Mini and give it a feed from the app over Bluetooth. Also over Bluetooth is the mini clicker. You can also trigger the feeder from that. If you connect the Pet Tutor Mini to the app, then you could also use the tap button, which is the small little single button. Now the tap button doesn't have as many features as the mini clicker, but it's much smaller, and the price is less on the tap button, honestly. So that might be another reason. So, and if you already have
the tap button does not have tilt, but it has a very long lasting battery. Does not recharge, but it has a solid long lasting battery.
Yeah, replaceable battery. Yes,
Yeah.
it does have and if you already have a tap button, no problem. That will work with the Mini. It's got to go through the app. So you've got to connect the tap button to the app and then connect the app to your Mini, and then you're good to go. So those are 3 ways, and we'll might have some more stuff coming. So stay tuned. When can we order? Yeah, I'll say definitely end of February. So there, I said it. But I'm so I've got to go talk to our mechanical engineering designer, Orion. My nephew is Orion. He's our wonderful mechanical engineering designer. So he's working on a lot of stuff, but I think if we can get that hood for the motion detector and get that package in the store, then folks can start playing around with it. Can we? So I think I've answered the question on when. I just made a commitment, end of February or sooner. So we'll make an announcement when that's available. Is the mini clicker included in Pet Tutor package that I ordered? The package that was ordered originally, it was included, but then that expired. And the package it's the one that's shown in the store today. So if you go,
it depends when they purchased it, if it's included.
Yes, right. It depends. Yes. So the very first package that we offered, it was included. That expired. So it really depends on when you ordered it. And in your confirmation, it should tell you what was included. But that was the first package. So we offered a package that had the mini clicker, and then another one that it had the mini, the Uno cartridge, the crate mount, and the mini clicker. And so it really depends. If you're not sure, send us an email, support@PetTutor.Biz with your order number, and we can look it up for you and let you know. But this depends on when. But you should have gotten a confirmation to tell you which package you got. Let's see. I ordered after your last, oh yes, if you ordered right after the December, it was actually New Year's night. So on New Year's, we launched that first package that did include. So if you
The
ordered like
mini clicker,
January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, you got the clicker. So
but it does not include the external wand or the motion sensor.
right. Yep. And two. Okay, so maybe we've got that cleared up. How many treats can the Pet Tutor Mini hold? Yeah. So just explain how the Pet Tutor Mini works. This is the small motor housing. It's a smaller version of what we had on the original Pet Tutor. And then we've got an attachment that goes on top. We call the Uno. The reason we call the Uno because there's a lid that screws on top. And then, oh yeah, Amanda, why don't you show that and I'll talk to it as it's being demonstrated. Yeah. So if you can see the video that Amanda's showing now, that she's sharing on the screen, that is the Uno Cartridge Assembly. So it's got three parts. There's a lid. You can see that lid. That's a locking tab. And that locks that yellow part. You could see the yellow part inside. That holds the treats. It holds up to 15 treats. There you go. So each pocket, it will dispense exactly one treat or, you know, 2 or 3 if they fit. It's really depends on what you put in it. That's showing a single treat. That's the that little yellow rotor will rotate around and drop the treat out. And you can switch canisters. We made it to very quickly lift off the the motor base, so you can add another canister. So you run 5 or 10 trials, undo the canister, and put your next one on that holds more treats. And I will say, but I don't want to commit anything. Yeah, there's the motor pod. Yeah, there's the locking system. So it's got a couple of steel screws, mounting studs, and those attach underneath the Uno. You twist, lock it in. After working with a young service dog in training, I also volunteer in a service dog training program. I had a young lab that was bound and determined to get in there. So we beefed up the locking system on it. This is showing the travel, or the travel base set. And so the Mini mounts on top of that with the collapsible bowl. Yeah, someone said, is the Pet Tutor Mini operates independently or an add-on? No, it is a stand. It is its own feeder, the Pet Tutor Mini. So basically, what you see here, yeah, what's being held up in the air there, that's the Pet Tutor Mini, and then that's the floor base. One option for the floor base, and that can be used by itself with the app. So if you get the Pet Tutor Mini and you use an app, you've got all you need to dispense a treat. You could use it with a Gen 3. I don't know if your question, I'm seeing the question. Yes, you could connect a Mini and a Gen 3 to the app at the same time. Is there anything the previous smart clicker does that the Mini clicker doesn't do? Very good question. And the answer is, at this time, yes, there's one thing, but we may have an option for that. Something I didn't mention on the Mini clicker is it does not connect to the app. So the new Mini feeder itself does connect to the app and you can send a feed command. But the standalone remote, the Mini clicker remote, little orange box we were showing earlier, that currently does not connect to the app. And I don't know that that's going to change, but we do have a display on the Pet Tutor Mini. The one feature that people like with the smart clicker was recording training data. If any of you clicker trainers out there remember the criteria counter that's in the app, so you can have hits and misses on criteria. That was a capability in the app. We might be able to at least collect a little bit of that data in the new Mini. But right now, that would be the one thing that it doesn't do. And then down the road, we're hoping to add even more capabilities in the Mini clicker. So I think over time, as we add new software capabilities, you might find it'll do even more. So the Pet Tutor Mini operates independently. Yes. Okay, and I have a Gen 2. Yep. Sorry if I'm not sure when you came in, but the new system works only with the Gen 3. Is it possible to add these new accessories before the new minis are shipped? Can you add the accessories? Yes, depending on where you came in, that the Mini clicker is available today in the store, so you could order that right now.
The wand.
The wand is available today with the extended battery life. That's in the store. You could add that today. And if you have a Generation 3 Pet Tutor, you're off to the races. You could start using that either in tilt mode in the toy game or for training. And then with the wand, it's extended battery life. You don't have to have the wand, but that is an option that's available today in the store.
Well, Wes, we could go ahead and put the motion sensor in the store, but they wouldn't get that little the little blinders. I've been using sticky notes myself. So,
Well,
you know, I hate to see people miss out on that, but I think in a few weeks we can have it in the store with the blinders.
well, okay. Let me talk to Orion again.
Okay.
He's our team member that does the mechanical stuff, and see how quickly we might go. I'd like to really ship those together, so that some people that get it, they get the whole package, rather than have to put. We might be close enough that it won't matter. I'm going to see if we can accelerate that and not cause a ripple in our plans. But let me see if we can get that added in real quick. And so keep an eye. I did promise into February, so maybe I gave myself plenty of room. But
Okay.
Let's see if we can.
I wanted to answer. Somebody wanted to know if they get
Go.
the extra Uno with this package, and they do.
The extra Uno. Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's a good question. Yeah, 2 of the Uno cartridges. So that would be 30 treats, and you'd swap those out. You take one off, and, it's 15, and then another 15. Those will be packaged together, so you get that as a kit.
Yes.
And then we're going to offer the Uno cartridges separately. Now, one thing that drove us in this direction of this Uno attachment, and I'll just say we are looking into other ways to contain the treats. But this, and I can't promise, all we can promise is this seems to work pretty well. We've got this, but we're thinking about other treat holders and ways to hold the treats and dispense. And those are coming, but we've had a lot of people that work with really small animals. Think about, Yorkies and Chihuahuas or exotic birds. We've had a lot of people that are doing exotic bird training with the original Pet Tutor, and it's good down to a point. But when you start getting the sunflower seeds, and then when you get in, some bird trainers are using millet. I don't know if you've ever seen millet, but man, is that stuff small. And the brush system just couldn't handle that, honestly, that small a treat. That's just crazy. But with the Uno, it's as small as you want to put in there. I've actually put millet in, and millet will fit in the pocket. Obviously, there's plenty of room for the millet, and it rotates around and drops it out. So it's designed to dispense as many treats as a pocket will hold, so you don't have to dispense one. But if you want exactly one, and if you're dealing with really small treats, this is the ticket. This will
I
work
think
really
it's
well.
really optimal with one. I think it works its best at one. Now, somebody's
do too.
asking if they, about meat or cut up meat. I have not tested that. Have you?
No, when it starts getting really sticky, I don't know how it's going to behave. We just haven't tested enough. I
No,
do
I
know that Zooks will work. And if you got a
Mhm.
small enough freeze-dried food, that would work. But if you actually put meat, yeah, we've had people put raw meat through the original Pet Tutor, but I'm not too sure about that yet on this. And I would say I'd be a little hesitant. I don't know if it would stick to the sides and not fall out, but we'll know more as we get. So meat's a question mark. Let's see, somebody's adding about other accessories. I will mention something that we're working on.
Wait a minute. What are you going to mention?
All right, maybe not. Well, I was going to talk about the floor base adapter, Amanda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right. See, I
Yeah.
gotta get it. I have to run everything past.
Well, we had an agreement before, like we shook
Yes,
hands and we said what we were
I
gonna
know. I thought anyway,
Yeah.
they were so well organized. This is an adapter. I don't know if you guys can see it. Amanda's holding up.
Yeah.
So if you have the original, or not, I'm sorry, not the original, but if you have the black floor base, heavy duty floor base, and it's
Mhm.
the one that's in the store today, we're working on an adapter that will allow the new Mini to be used in the bigger black floor base. Now that's important for like ruggedness, and I think that'll be a really solid because it's very low profile. We got a big black base. I'm just looking.
I know, I'm looking around my office.
I don't have one close to me, but it is on the website. That floor base, this adapter, not the blue one. This is not designed for the blue one, but for the black one. This adapter, we're just starting to test it out, and we're going to send it out to a few people that have a Mini that are part of the testing group. But that might be coming. So that would mean if you already have that heavy duty floor base, you can just use this with that. Or if you want a heavier, sturdier floor base, you could buy the ones in the store now and add the adapter with the Mini, and you'd be good to go. And if you have both Gen 3 and the Mini, you can go either way. So we always try to take care of people that have that already have the Pet Tutor line. It doesn't always work out, but we try to be backwards compatible. You're on mute right now, Amanda.
Okay. It's not in the store though.
Not yet. Not
The
yet.
adapter,
But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So I think certainly by the time we actually start shipping the Minis, it's going to be available. And I would think well before that, but that's in the works. Can you connect with the app to the Mini? Yes. Yes. Mini and Gen 3 simultaneously. Yes. Tap button is awesome. Thank you, Abby. Lynn and Patty had a question. Let's see. Lynn and Patty, did I answer that? Lynn and Patty had the same question. I don't know. Is there anything that previous smart clicker does? Yes, I think I did answer that. It is the criteria counter in the app, and the new Mini clicker will not connect to the app at this time, only directly to the feeder.
And here's the crate mount.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, this is the new crate mount, which is included in any of these pre-order packages. So you will get that if you've ordered any of the pre-order packages up until now, or as I mentioned earlier, if you're just joining, that pre-order package will be available one more week. So a week from
just the crate mount bonus.
yeah, with the crate mount only. So it's going to be the Mini package and the crate mount at no additional charge. That'll be included. Not the mini clicker. That was only the first package on New Year's, but everything up until now will include this free this crate now. If we're on this Zoom, do we get first dibs on the new products since we took the time to attend? Well, I don't. Huh? I don't. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Maybe somebody else is.
It was somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what first dibs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you buy first, you get first.
Yeah, I think that's the only way we can manage it when these start to
Yeah.
roll out. Like the motion detector, you know, only those that are watching this will know that that's coming because we haven't advertised that anywhere. So you guys are the first ones to see the motion detector add-on. And so when that comes, yes, if you've seen this or watched the video, you will by default get, because we're not, in fact, Amanda, I think let's just say that you know, we'll put it in the store and we could leave it in the store for a few days before we actually start promoting it in a more general way. That way, anyone that's watched it, and we'll let people on the list know that it's coming.
And somebody wanted to know if there was a way to see how many treats were left. And if you
Yes.
have the smart click, if you have the mini clicker, it does have a countdown on it.
Yep.
And the lid's a little bit transparent. So depending if how close
Yeah.
you are to it, you can
Yeah.
see. Mhm.
Yeah. I found that too. If you got the right lighting and you're close enough, you can look down and kind of see. It's translucent. The lid is, well, I did. Yeah, there, kind of see. I've got my
Yeah.
fingers there, so you can kind of see that. But then the mini clicker does have a countdown timer, and it's got a reset function. So you press and hold the button on the front, and that will reset the counter to 15. So if you swap out, you take an Uno off, you put the next one on, you press and hold the button, it resets to 15. Then every time you trigger it, it counts down. So if you just look at the display on this, you'll know how many treats are left. Let's see, where was I at?
So I think somebody was asking, should they hold off to order the motion sensor so that they can order the wand, the motion sensor, and the mini clicker at the same time? Or do you think it's best they go ahead and order the mini clicker and the wand? I would just go ahead and I would go ahead and order it, and then when the motion sensor comes out, order that differently, only because we wouldn't want for some reason you to miss out on the inventory.
Yeah, you know, and you guys know this. I mean, you know, I was working with our accounting group, and they said, well, you know, we're behind on getting the W-2s out to employees because guess what? We can't get the forms because the forms are behind. So everything is crazy these days on supply chain, and things are running out, and we've got a pretty good inventory right now, but I wouldn't wait around. I just have no idea what's going to happen. You know, this is a crazy time. So I would, you know, if it was me, I would prefer to get it all together, but I don't think I'd wait. I think, like Amanda said, I would go ahead and when it's available, grab it, because these are small parts. There's not it's not a big ticket shipping thing like the big feeders are. So and that the motion detector is going to be a very, very light part. It'll probably be about I'm guessing, don't hold me to this, but if you're domestic US shipping, it's probably about $4 first class. That'd be my guess. So if you had to order it separate.
And if you purchased that first package that was out New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that included the mini clicker, if I were you, and this is because I have some miles on both the mini clicker and the external wand, I would go buy the external wand for sure. That, no doubt about it. I love the way it feels in your hand. the way it charges and gives it extra life. The mini clicker is rechargeable too. And because it's small, it can be a little bit difficult to keep track of if you have as much stuff on my desk as I do.
Yeah,
But
you're
we
talking
will-
about the mini
yeah,
clicker
the
itself
mini
is
clicker,
small.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see it's just a little bit bigger than your thumb, so it's easy to lose.
And it is going to come in a case, the mini clicker, a small case with a wristband. And that really helps a lot to keep and manage it because it is so tiny. But why I love that it's tiny is it fits in so many toys. I mean, so many toys.
Yeah,
And
it's even a little smaller than the last Gen 3 or Gen 2 smart clicker. So that was a pretty small case, but this is even a little bit smaller. And it has the rechargeable battery, and you can turn it off. So I like it. Yeah, I've moved over to it for all my. Of course, I'm testing it too, but I'm finding I like it better than the prior smart clicker. Again, unless you're doing recording training data, and then we've got some folks that really like to keep track of hits and misses, use a criteria counter. So I can't promise yet how we're going to address that. I'd like to, but it's not there yet.
Cindy Burnett wanted to know what's the external battery you recommend. So we have 2 external batteries, and it's this one, which is for the mini clicker, and then we have.
Yeah, we should clarify that any of those packages for the Pet Tutor Mini feeder itself, you can run that off of wall power, or if you want to run it off a battery, you have to use an external battery.
Do you have an anchor there?
Yeah, I might. Yeah, can you tap dance a little bit?
I took mine downstairs.
Yeah. See if
I
I can.
have 100 things.
Oh, good. Yeah. So here's one.
Yeah.
You can see that.
It's an anchor.
Yeah. Now, we've talked about this before. So it's really any USB external rechargeable battery pack could work, but many of those external battery packs do not have what's called always on. So the battery itself, the batteries have gotten too smart. So the battery itself says, oh, if you're not drawing enough current, I'm just going to turn off. And so that's what a lot of them are doing. And we've tested the Anchor brand, and that one stays on. Power Add is another brand that I've tested, and that stays on. There may be, and there is another brand out there, but it's way up in price. It's crazy high for an external battery. So I don't think I'd recommend it, but I know there's at least 2-3 brands that do it. A couple that are in the $20 or less ballpark.
Fred wanted to know how long the mini clicker battery without the wand lasts, and I'm thinking like an hour or 2 or so.
I would say
it depends what you're using it for.
It depends on what you're doing, and we've got with fairly continuous use. It runs about hour and a half to 2 hours, in that ballpark. And then if you're not using it a full solid hour, turn it off, and you can have more session time. Can you name those again? Yeah, it's Anchor. Yeah, so Amanda, you did that, and let me put that in the chat here.
But the Anchor's not in our store.
That's right. We've got a link to it in the store. So if you go to our original battery holder for the big blue tube, it's the I forget what the battery holder, I think is what we call it in the store. It's still available, and it is made specifically for the Anchor, but there's also a link there. So if you go to our store, we don't sell the battery, but we do have the link to that item on Amazon. You might be able to get it other places, but the Anchor and Power Add are the 2 brands that do seem to work. It don't shut down. because this unit doesn't draw a lot of power, and that's the problem. A lot of these external battery packs are designed to restore the power or charge up a phone that's down. And phones suck a lot of current when they discharge. And so, so many of those are not staying on. If you use Verizon for mobile service, cheapest place I found to buy the Anchor battery is through Verizon. Really? Wow, that's new. Okay, well, thank you for that tip. If you guys are watching the chat, I didn't know this. Lizzie's saying that you can get the Anchor brand batteries through Verizon. That's wild. Okay. So thanks. Great info.
And somebody was asking, hold on here, how much will the motion sensor cost? Well, that is under negotiations between engineer and marketing currently, and I don't know who's winning, but I think it's going to be 20 or under.
Yeah,
maybe
it'll
only
be
by 5 cents, but somewhere in that area.
yeah, okay.
But depending on, it's going to depend on what it takes to get the extra pieces made and just some little things like that. So that's about what we think it'll be, no more than 20.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
I
somebody
think
wants to see the wand again.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's the wand. Now the
Well,
wand
let me take the hat off.
Yeah. Yeah. And could you take the mini clicker off so you can see exactly just the wand and kind of show them how you plug and unplug it. So she's we're gonna provide a little, it's like a rubber band that holds it in place. So you scoot that rubber band. So like if you're in agility and you want to, and you're running along, this will keep everything together from falling out. So you scoot that little rubber band out of the way, and then it just lifts out. It's got some connectors. It's got some pins and connectors that it plugs into. And then the white part is the wand. That's the wand. And then the orange part is the mini clicker.
And it also has a place where you can hang it on the wall if you want to, for perhaps some of the motion sensor things. That would be handy.
Yeah. So someone was asking about the size. I don't know what they have, but the 5,000 milliamp hour seems to work pretty good. That's the smaller one. And we do have in some of the new designs a strap underneath to hold that underneath the feeder to hold that an external battery.
And this isn't on the list that we were going to talk about, but we've mentioned it before and we showed it the first time around. We are going to offer a less expensive little
tripod
that has the flexible legs for on the website. We're going to test about, several of them, many, to make sure that we're really liking it. But I use this around the house and I really like it. And it's super handy, and it's portable and it's pretty easy to do. So it just comes on and off.
Yeah, you see that bottom part, there's a screw hole that we put in one of our adapters that matches the size for camera tripods. So you can mount the new Mini on top of a camera tripod, either a little one like this or a full size, but it's a standard size screw. And we've designed the bottom of the Mini to be able to fit on that standard size screw. So I think we are out of time at this point. I think we got most of the questions. If we didn't, go ahead and shoot us an email. We'll try to follow up with you. Keep an eye on the website. We will send out another notice, but in about a month, so toward the end of February, we're going to give you another update. Should have a lot of new stuff, and then we got this new. I think we'll be ready to talk about the new woohoo by the end of February. But we're working on some really exciting stuff.
Well, Dee Dee had one last question. I don't want to leave it hanging. And it was the little blue bottom I was showing that attached to the I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the blue bottom. Yes, that comes with, that's what you attach the legs to as well that we were showing earlier. So it does come with both packages that have been out there. So you will get the,
Yeah.
I call it the universal mount.
Yeah.
Disc is what I call it. So
Yeah, and we also include the collapsible bowl. That's part of the package as well, which
Yeah.
you could use that separately for a dog bowl to water, or it's designed. We've designed the mount so it'll hold that bowl for you. Okay, well,
All right.
With that, I think we will say good night. Those on the East Coast, I feel your pain. We're here in the Midwest. We got a little bit of snow, but oh my God, you guys are going crazy out there. I've
I
heard
want
like
some snow.
18 to 24 inches, Amanda.
Well,
That's what they're talking about. They
I
got
have a Great Dane, so he can.
Oh yeah, well, you could ride him through the
He can
snow.
find a way.
Yeah, so I'm sorry to hear about all that. Maybe some of you snow lovers are looking forward to it, but that's a lot of snow unless you live in Minnesota.
Oh, and Gretchen, we'd love to talk to you about your project, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you have any suggestions or things that you would like to see us add in the future or new capabilities, don't hesitate. We're always listening to you. And that's why you're seeing some of this new stuff, new features, new capabilities coming along, because we've been listening to you over the years, and we will continue. High winds, 24 inches in high winds. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna just go into an anxiety attack or something. That is nuts.
No, that's a lot of snow.
Okay, be careful, everyone.
See you later.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming tonight.